here is a drawing that I did for a prison, a maximum security prison in Missouri. Now, in this maximum security prison, they actually put people to death. It's a real place. I mean, it's a very scary place. They have a big chamber where they have gas and everything like that. Put people to death. So what I did was this. Made a drawing, and I thought, what would be a great kind of symbol for this prison? You know, what I would do is this. I would put a bird on the top of the prison where the guards are with the guns, right? And does anybody know what type of bird that is? Just by offhand. Yes. Oh no, that's a eagle. But does anybody know what kind of? Say it again. A vulture. Right. Exactly. Now, what kind of a bird is a vulture? What kind of birds are they? What do they do? Right. They're not the most innocent of birds, sort of. Right. Right. This is prison. I wouldn't put a dove up here. Right. I wouldn't put a peacock up there. If I'm going to symbolize the prisoners, I'm going to use something that is not exactly innocent. So what did I do here? I put a turkey vulture that should be free. All birds should be free, right? That's what we have. That's what we associate with freedom, essentially, is birds, right? But he cannot do what he's naturally inclined to do by flying away. He's locked up. Okay? And I'm about this tall. So this is what permission has done for me now. You see, what progression has it made by not doing street art anymore? It's made me do stuff like this. Put birds on top of maximum security prisons. It's let me do that. So it's advanced me in a way. Here's another drawing that I did before. This is in Sao Paulo, Brazil. What I did was this. I made a figure looking like it's pulling down the pillar of an art museum. Okay? He's trying to take down the very structure of this museum. Okay, and he's made it change himself, so that's the context. Now, it was a big production to put this together. You know, we had to have all kinds of ladders and people down here and there at the same time. So my ideas have now just gotten bigger as a public artist, and that's the stage that I'm in now. And here's a drawing. Now, as much as I go into being Leon Reid IV and dropping Darius Jones, I still haven't forgotten my sense of humor that I had as Darius Jones, as you can see here. You know, this is in Sao Paulo, Brazil. You have one-way signs here, like for traffic just to go one way. Well, here's the same kind of concept, you know, going on, where you have an adult and a child, right? But what happens when, you know, is it art imitating life or life imitating art? You know, that's always the constant question, because you can see the similarity in there, all right? And that was done with permission. And also, you know, this is on top of a bridge, a footbridge. There's a train that passes down here. And this is right on top of a bridge. So it incorporates my fondness for things coming alive. And it kind of mimics the geometry, you know, there. And the only reason why it's orange is because of this. And this is one thing that I learned that I've gotten better at as a public artist. It was orange because I went around the community and asked, you know, what color would you like this tree to be? I don't live here. You guys are going to have to deal with this. So what color would it be? I had a list of orange, purple, blue, yellow. They all chose orange, so it was orange. Now, as a graffiti artist and a street artist, I never would have done that, you know? But why did I do that? Because these people have to deal with it every day. I'm just there passing through. I'm a visitor, you know? So that's a good thing to do as a community artist, is to ask what the community would like to see. Now, this is my last piece. This is my first piece that was given permission by the city of Syracuse, and it's a drawing. And what you have here is parking meters. Okay, this is what they usually look like. Now, instead of eating the quarters that you give in, they're eating the leaves of a tree, right? They're the grazers. This tree is sustaining them. Now, what I found was when I put this out there, when I realized this picture, what happened in my sketch happened in reality. And this was my idealized version. You know, a drawing is what you wish to happen. But it actually did happen. You know, people are enjoying it, interacting with it, exchanging with it. And that's really what street art, or public art, is at its height. And it took me 13 years to get to this point from Verbs, the graffiti writer, who wrote Verbs because he saw a fat rapper guy with a sweatshirt on it. You see? And this hasn't stopped there, and I'm just beginning to find out what I can do as a public artist. And that's just a small example of what I've done out on the streets of many cities, and I hope you all have enjoyed it. And thank you for coming. I don't have too much time to stay around, but I'll entertain like maybe 3 questions. Is that good? I got to run off and do some public art, believe it or not. Any questions? Any comments or anything? Yes.
You filmed in an event form. Is the thing you do events, or are the public art that will stay when you have the permission?
You mean did I fill out events like?
Yeah. Form. It said special event.
Right.
Form.
If an event it happens, do you mean do I fill out a form to for the artwork?
Like this piece, does it have a duration, or is it forever?
It is as long as they want. It's kind of forever. It's meaning it can stay as long as the city will allow it. Like if it becomes like if a car came and hit it and destroyed it, they would take it or they would remove it. You see, so it's a permanent installation. Some of them are not permanent. Some of them are only there for a month, and it's an agreed upon time. Some of them are there for as long as they want them to be there. So it varies. Any other questions? Yes.
What do you think you will do in 13, 14 years?
That's a good question. I know I'll only keep my own name. I won't switch names again. I know that will be consistent. But if I'm around, I just want to get larger and larger. Christo, Christo and Jean-Claude, the public artists that do wrappings, I like them a lot. So maybe I'm not there at this point, but I would like to do something on that scale. Yes?
And what you're going to do outside
now? Well, I'm going to be doing a piece in the city center. I won't explain. I don't want to explain too much now, because if it doesn't happen exactly to how I say it, then it's going to be like I'm just coming up here and talking a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense. So I'll just say it's in the city center, and then you'll see it hopefully soon. Any other questions? Yes.
How did you make the bird?
The bird. Oh, that's a lot. That was a steel skeleton, like a steel frame. Okay. Underneath. Okay, you can see it. You see. This is. Okay. You see this?
Yeah.
That line in there? That's all inside here. Those steel lines. So I welded it. I can join the metal together in the frame of a bird, and then I wrapped fabric and filled it with all kinds of like trash and newspapers and junk, and just filled it up and wrapped it around and cut out each feather so that it stayed on there. So that's how I made it. Yes.
Just wondered, in your earlier works,
Yeah.
when you worked with orange flats,
Yeah.
how did you manage to bend the pole? Those are quite...
Good question. What I did was I had a studio, a metal workshop, and I would go back to the workshop, and I bent this one, the one you're talking about, very archaically, rudimentarily. What I did is I cut it in maybe 30 different places and bent it, and then welded each one, sewed each one up, and then grinded it down so that it looked as if it was always like that. So, but the question is this: I would go back to the studio where I didn't have to be doing something illegal, and then 5 minutes, of installing it there. That's how it was there. Any other questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you all very much. Appreciate it.